Mm, ba-da-ba. We are live right here in the Academy Sports Show studios. This is the Academy Sports Show. We are live on YouTube right now. So if you ever want to be live with us as we record the show, we go live on YouTube every Thursday in the afternoon, evening time, Eastern Standard Time. Get that from IG or Facebook. But first, um, YouTube, you want to follow us at Academy Sports Show. Search us, find our faces, subscribe to our faces, get notification to our faces. That way, every time we go up, you can be into the feed like those filling up now. Or Facebook, check us out, Academy Sports Show, and Instagram, Academy Sports Show. And so definitely get those clips of previous shows. You can comment and let us know how you feel about our points and opinions on different topics. Shout out to those new to our social media that try to drive those conversations. So we definitely appreciate that. Make sure you follow, like, and do all those positive things on our socials. And if you listen to the show, if you're listening right now on YouTube, it's like, man, where can I get this episode? It was so good. I want to hear the whole full thing. You can go to SoundCloud, search Academy Sports Show, look for our faces, search that, find that, follow that. And you can also go to iTunes, the Purple Podcast app, search Academy Sports Show, see our faces again. There's a trend here. See our faces again, subscribe to that, like that, follow that, and then you can listen to us. We are aux cord ready, so make sure you put us up in the car, or you can listen to us on the headphones while you're going to the gym or on the way to work. We are accessible to you. So make sure you shout out Academy Sports Show on your social media. Let everybody know what your favorite sports show is, because we are your sports show's favorite sports show, now becoming your favorite sports show. I'm your host, Andre Douglas, and next to me is your host, Joel Williams.
Man, what's good, everybody? We in the building. It is Thursday in the D. It is NBA Finals. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's the night. It's been a lot of talk, a lot of things being said, a lot of predictions out there, a lot of people, saying some things they believe, which, I mean, that's what we do. We talk about things we believe. So that's what we're here to do tonight. Finals are starting, and they will be starting shortly, about 9, a little after 9 tonight. Every game now is going to be the late game to get the prime time slot. So you're going to be up late watching this game. We got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. Of course, this is our NBA Finals edition, so we welcome everybody to the show. We got a lot to talk about. Let's cover it. Tonight's show, we got to talk a little bit about the Bucks. Their season is over. Eastern Conference Finals. They lost 4-2 in that series to the Raptors. Won the first two and lost the next 4. So what's next for the Bucks? Also, lately in the news, man, Houston, all you fans out there, how you feeling, man? Everybody is fair game for a trade. Raptors president, GM, owner, basketball operations says they want to shake it up a little bit, and everybody's fair game. We could talk trade picks. We could talk Chris Paul. We could talk the beard. Anybody can get it. Anybody can go. How do you feel about it? We're going to talk about that tonight on the show. Also, for the Raptors to win, what do they have to do? For Golden State to win, what do they have to do? Dre and I give you our opinions on tonight, plus our MVP predictions for the series. And most of all, we got to put our necks on the line. We got to make a declaration. We got to say who we think's going to win and why, and give you our prediction. How many. Raptors, Warriors, plus other stories. Maybe we might touch them. Juwan Howard was introduced as Michigan's basketball coach today. Lakers drama, still drama. Had a nice heated discussion with Sports Dad Stevens. A great debate. He keeps me sharp, keeps me ready to debate at any time. So might touch on that too. We always go where the show takes us, especially if anyone has any comments or anything to say, we'll definitely respond. So it's that much more for tonight on the Academy Sports Podcast, aka show, live on YouTube. Check us out.
All right, and we love our sponsors here at Academy Sports Show. The man, the myth, the legend, Mike Vaughn's Plumbing, both licensed and insured. Vaughn's Plumbing provides top quality services at great prices. Whether it's just getting up to cold waterproofing or daily home services, call the man.
313-304-7786.
VaughnsPlumbing.com also gives you the map that shows all the areas that they service. If you fall in that service area, you definitely want to call them. You definitely want to check out the quotes online as well. just to give you an understanding of how much these services cost. But we approve this guy right here. Number is
313-304-7786.
got a little too excited. I'm sorry.
You did get excited.
I get excited about
that was
plumbing
interesting.
because he's the real MVP.
Okay. All right. Also, don't forget, if you're looking to buy, sell, rent, or lease, or maybe even invest in real estate, or you might be even looking for a career change, you should call my man Nick Bowers and his team at Keller Williams Lakeside. Let the home team help you with your real estate needs. Go to their website at www.thehometeamusa.com or on Facebook at The Home Team. The Home Team, a team you can depend on. Call my man Nick Bowers at 586-634-9419. Again, that's Nick Bowers at 586-634-9419. KW Lakeside, the Home Team.
Yeah. All right.
Ayo.
So you heard the rundown. And so we own up to things on this show.
We do.
We own up. And I don't really do I subscribe. Listen, eating crow is one thing. I'm not trying to hedge my bet before I get to that point. Okay. But what I do want to say is last episode, I was a little critical of this hire of Juwan Howard as our Michigan basketball coach.
We're starting there first.
And it got me, man. The press conference.
A press conference got you?
Got me. The press conferences always get me. They got me. And it pulled on my heartstrings a little bit. And see him well up like that just for this opportunity and his vision, his plan, how now trust me, I'm still a little skeptical.
Okay.
Only because that's just who I am.
Okay.
But I understand that he really genuinely wants to succeed in this job and will put his all into it. And I think I knew that before, but just seeing it, up close and personal, it kind of validates, how you really feel about it. I do feel like he still needs a strong coaching staff to help him guide him through his first head coaching job in the collegiate level. And I mean, on both of those fronts, just to be in the collegiate level and be a head coach for the first time. I think he needs some guys that definitely have experience in that lane. But I'm going to ease back a little bit. I'm going to ease off him a little bit.
And where are you easing off to, so we can be clear on your stance here?
As we discussed previously, I'm a I told you so kind of person.
Okay. We did discuss that.
So I'm working on myself internally. So, at the first sign of something bad happening, I was going to show up. You know what I mean? I was going to show up in here.
Oh, yeah.
I told you he was going. I told you, I'm just going to let the man live. I'm going to let him do his coaching thing. And he has 100%. I'm not holding the cards close to the vest anymore.
Okay.
100% faith that he will execute as a successful Michigan coach.
Okay.
I will definitely. The reins are loose. The cards are out. I'm not gonna jump on his back every time there's a disagreement.
Okay.
So hopefully everybody else does and gives him his space to do his thing.
So you're calling for the proper amount of expectation, and you're not going to be the I told you so guy when he makes mistakes or when mistakes are made that we really kind of expect to be made.
Yes, that's where I'm starting.
Okay, I appreciate that.
That's where I'm saying.
You know what? A couple weeks ago, I had to eat crow because I was confident in the Portland Trail Blazers. And you're not eating crow. I agree. Yes, that you did what they would say in the media. You walked it back.
I'm walking it back.
Walking it back.
I'm walking.
Okay.
It back.
All right. Well, I was moved today as well. It was emotional. But I think that passion that you saw definitely lets you know that this man is going to do his darndest best to fulfill the expectation at this school. Now, where it goes from there, we'll see. But everything you said last week still stands. Really, it does, in the sense of he does need to get experienced coaches. He's only keeping the strength and conditioning guy who seems to work magic in this program because these guys show up as freshmen, and when you see them as sophomores, they look totally different. But so far, he hasn't retained any coaches. There's one more coach still out there as an assistant who might be retained, so we'll see how that goes. Haven't really heard much in the news about who he's even talking to. I heard one story about a guy from like St. John's or something like that out east. So that will be interesting to see how he recruits. All that stuff still sticks. He is a first timer. He said today, I got to get in this recruiting rule book, make sure I know all the rules, and I'm gonna hire people. I'm gonna hire people with experience that are gonna help me through. But I'm definitely gonna grow into this thing, and you can definitely count on me being all in, me and my family. So real cool. I watched it. It was of course cool experience. You're a Michigan fan. You should have enjoyed it. You didn't get a lot on as far as details about what he's going to do, how he's going to go about it, but you definitely got to appreciate his heart. His heart's definitely here.
Yeah,
and you know there's a lot of people flying in over the summer and definitely next season going to be sitting on at courtside to bring a lot of attention to this program. So this will be cool to see.
Yeah, I got a chance to watch it both, on the local news and rewatch it, on YouTube and just see the passion, how he answered the questions. Some of them gave me a little pause, but he didn't awfully, what we say day one championship. That's our point.
Yeah, he did not.
We didn't.
Woo! Thank you.
He
didn't overpromise.
No, he didn't.
Because I didn't want an under-deliver situation.
He didn't go out and say all of that, which I would have liked to hear, but try to set itself up.
Yeah, as a first-time coach, you can't go there.
Can't go there.
Nah.
Okay.
You're Jim Harbaugh. You can say, my plan is this. You can be real specific and throw some hints. But first time, Juwan, ease yourself in. Let the emotional wave ride that wave first.
Okay.
Right, ride that wave first.
Okay, I got you. And then, because most of his answers were, what do you, they were asking, what do you think your legacy would be, or the things that you want to instill in the program. It was a lot of brotherhood.
Yep.
A lot of family, a lot of fighting for one another, things of that nature. So he's just trying to build that camaraderie and that family atmosphere. So kind of, what he felt like when he played in Michigan. So I think those experiences when he was a player and what happened and what went wrong with a couple of his teammates, I think he has that experience to try to nip that in the bud if something like that happens with his group. And then he also just seems like a good man, to the point where I'll send my son to him because I think Chris Webber put it that, if I send my son to him, I know the conversations that will be had when I'm not around.
Right.
And that's the kind of person that you want your son to be around. Because, after dad and whatever father figure, usually coach is right up there.
Right up there.
So
most influential people in most of these young guys' lives.
I'm excited. I'm pulling back from the reservation of, let me find every mistake this guy's doing, to just being excited for the opportunity to watch a Fab Five member coach one of my favorite teams.
No problem. Good job. Good job. The brotherhood. Good job.
All right, so we can put a bow on that. Congratulations, Coach. Hope everything goes well. We will be documenting you hard here.
We're gonna have a lot to talk about with that.
But let's turn our attention to the NBA. You see the finals behind us.
The association.
You're on us on YouTube. Well, when the last couple of teams got eliminated, we did throw out, what can they do to get better. I do want to throw the Bucks in there because it seems like people kind of glance past, after they got eliminated of, how can they improve or what do you see them doing. The only reason I can see why people glance past that is because I don't know if there is anything you can do to strengthen this roster. It's probably just growth, but what do you see the Bucks doing, or what do you want them to see? What do you want them to do moving forward to try to get them over that hump?
Unfortunately, you did give my answer during your question.
Nothing.
They need to grow. Like that's it. Like you had Bledsoe who didn't play well. You had flashy games from the others, but not consistent. You saw that comfort level at home to go up 2-0,
right,
playing with nothing to lose. But you probably saw in Game 5, you probably saw the pressure kick in, the inexperience kick in. You're at home, but you're tied 2-2 now. So you're not up, 1-0, 2-0. Now you're home tied 2-2, and you have to win because you don't want to go back to their place for the opportunity for them to close out. And you saw some inexperience. And I think because of that, for them, use this opportunity to grow. Last year, they were a good team, but they weren't a top-tier team yet.
Mm-hmm.
This year, they increased their level of play to where they reached the number 1 seed in the playoffs. You won the East in the regular season. You got to the Eastern Conference Finals. So now you've done that. Your next step as a unit, as a group, is to get to the finals now. And when you look at the way the East is set up currently, you could say, hey, they just need to come back in and get to work.
Sure.
We don't know what it's going to look like in October of this year after free agency, but the way it stands today, you could say, well, get another scorer. I mean, Brogdon, I thought did well. To me, he was probably their most consistent.
Yeah. After coming off the injury.
Yeah, I thought Middleton has to grow up a little bit. Bledsoe, keep in mind, we've raved about him over the years as he's bounced around teams. He's never been in that position before.
You getting paid like it.
Yeah, he sure is. He's been getting paid like that since he left Phoenix.
Yeah.
But he's never really been in that position before. So I just want to see them kind of grow up. Let's see what they look like coming in with that experience next year to find out, is this just a really good regular season team every year? And they remind me of the Cavs back in the late 2000s when LeBron and them were winning 60, 65 games but couldn't get out of the East, So are they that? You don't know. They did it this year. They got this far. Now grow up. Giannis has to develop his ability to adjust. Budenholzer didn't adjust. Giannis has to learn how to adjust. A lot of that just everybody stay out by the 3-point line, him drive in and try to make this weird, this crazy pass to the wing or whatever. Man, Toronto figured that out.
Yeah.
And they put Kawhi on him, and he still tried to drive, which is hard to stop him.
Yep.
But then they said, okay, well, we believe Kawhi can defend him. Now we'll stay home on the shooters.
Yep.
And now you're throwing it out in this turnover after turnover, which he ended up turning the ball over a lot. So I think that's where his game's got to evolve. He's got to be able to drive, stop, and shoot. He's got to develop a jump shot in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Because in the playoffs, the game slows down, and they load up in the box, and they pack it in, and they dare you to beat them. So, we'll see. I just think that's what it is, more growth for them. I don't see a player that fits them in the free agency. I see it's more growth.
Yeah, same. Not a player that will come on this roster. I don't think Milwaukee's a
destination,
a franchise that would go into the luxury tax or anything like that. It's just all, like you said, growth. From the main person is Giannis. And as we get to talk about superstars down the line in this show, he's the one superstar that I do expect to have the vigor to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. He's MVP. You know that, right?
He's definitely
he's winning the MVP. He should win the MVP.
Most definitely. He's probably the most coachable. He'll definitely just his passion that you see that he plays with. He'll definitely be in the gym all summer, perfecting the jump shot, whether it's mid range, long range. All those drives. If he pulls up at the free throw line and just develops just a jumper,
or a turnaround, something.
Yeah, that'll just if basically they were weak side doubling him because his peripheral will see that guy there, but he's not throwing that pass because he's staying home, but he got a guy doubling down on him.
Yep.
Plus, you said Kawhi. Depending on how the East looks next year, maybe it'll be an easier road, maybe it'll be a tougher road. You never know. But you definitely want to round out your game if you're Giannis, because I wouldn't change this roster. There's not much you can do with this roster. You did, trade away some guys and get some guys. So do you want to re-sign Mirotic, who wasn't really a big factor in these playoffs? So you can maybe find somebody like him. You can't really trade away Bledsoe. He's more of a defensive player, making all-team defense this year. So you're paying a lot of money to a guy that can play defense, but, sketchy on the offensive end. But like you said, Middleton just need to up his scoring. But it's all on the shoulders of Giannis.
Yep.
If he grows his game and he gets better and he gets more comfortable being a superstar and being the next coming, and I think he handled himself like a professional all year with his media and, his games and things like that. Let's take that next step and they'll be all right. But personnel-wise, I think they got a great coach. They got a good team for an Eastern Conference team. They can still compete at a high level by not making any choices.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's go to a team that wants to make a lot of choices. I was very surprised to hear that the owner, GM, what is he? The owner, the owner,
Donald Morey,
of the Houston Rockets, is putting everything on the line. Everybody but James Harden apparently is on the line, including Chris Paul. All the picks, which they don't have any this week, which is crazy. And he just wants to win a championship. He wants to put his team in the best position to win a championship. But I scratch my head at this because it's not a lot you can do if you're the Houston Rockets. Where did this come from for you, and what do you think they can do moving forward? Because I kind of got an idea.
Surprise! It came out of nowhere. It seems a little panicky to me. But the bottom line with this team is they're not winning a championship like this. Like the way they're built, this whole Harden just stand there, dribble, pass, shoot, it's not gonna work. I don't believe it will work. And they were one game away from beating the Warriors last year and getting to the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, they were competitive this year, but who really believed that they were going to win that series? Nobody. And so until they have to make some change to this roster. To me, if one of them is going, it's Chris Paul, obviously. I can't see Harden going anywhere.
Who takes that contract?
I don't know. It's a bad contract, and that's a problem. That's problem number one, is getting rid of that contract. But if somebody's got to go between those two stars, it's definitely going to be Chris Paul, which to me means you're going to let James Harden still be James Harden. So one theory I heard was this, and I think where I would go with this is coach. It's the head coach.
Oh, poor Mike.
Yeah. Listen, folks, at the end of the day, and appreciate you guys joining us in our live feed. If you're in my Facebook feed, don't forget to jump over to our YouTube feed, because we do shut our Facebook feed off, so you can get to our YouTube feed. You can talk. We're talking NBA right now. Houston Rockets saying they'll trade anybody to get somebody to get to a championship. But to me, somebody's got to be able to coach these egos. When you look at the way they were playing, and when you watch the media, you watch their tapes, now you start looking at people start investigating as you hear this news. James Harden was dogging it on offense when he wasn't getting the ball. That's a problem. And if you're not going to trade him, somebody has to speak to it. Somebody has to coach him. Somebody got to hold him accountable. And if you're not going to do that, then you will never win a championship. Because if he could be a guy who does play off the ball, but also plays dominant with the ball, that makes him even more lethal than he already is. But if he does what he did in the playoffs this year, walking it up, sometimes behind the play, as Chris Paul's trying to run the play, if he does that, problem. It'll always be a problem.
Oh, y'all running offense? I'm gonna take it.
Yeah. So, so I think it's head coaching. Is there somebody out there that can come in and hold him accountable? I feel like you got to get a championship coach. You got to get somebody that has at least one ring, because that he doesn't have a ring. So therefore, you can maybe convince him of otherwise. But that to me is the best thing happening. Maybe find yourself a defender like a Trevor Ariza. Get somebody like that back in the fold. But be honest with you, nobody's taking CP's contract. And I guess we want James Harden if I'm a fan and I'm not a fan of the Rockets, but I'm another team. Do I want James Harden? I guess. I don't really know, because that style of basketball isn't winning.
No. Taking Chris Paul's contract is going to be tough. One, you got to find somebody that's got enough cap to pay him $40 million a year for the next 3 years. Second, what are you going to get in return? Like you're trading away a good point guard.
You got to get better players.
And you got to get a better player.
Exactly.
I don't see that happening. The only way you can do that is get a young player that will conform to James Harden.
Right. That could be kind of his young Kyrie, his Batman.
Yeah, that is okay with, running the offense through James.
Right.
And unfortunately, you hit the nail on the head. I don't think anybody else is the problem. I think the problem is James Harden. Unfortunately, the way this offense is constructed, the way it's coached, like you said, the way everybody just revolves around him, he's the issue, because he don't play basketball. Like he's not a basketball player. He just walks the ball up, finds his three, and then that's pretty much it. Finds his
Dribble,
three or his
dribble,
layup.
dribble, dribble, dribble. Step back.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's not going to win in this league. You need him to buy into some kind of offensive set, move without the ball, be engaged within the offense, be engaged on defense, become a two-way player, and not concerned about his statistics. And unfortunately, I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
I don't care what coach they get. That's just the kind of player he is. So if you're the Rockets, I wouldn't have came out with this story. If I was Daryl Morey and I would have looked at this offense and looked at my star player, I would have kept my mouth shut.
Because they're going to look the same to me.
Because they're going to look the same no matter who you get in there. The ball's going to revolve around him. And now you got your players on edge thinking they're going to get traded,
right? Or,
they're not valuable to move forward to get a championship. All these guys you have on the roster are good guys. You saw the value of P.J. Tucker playing small ball. He can play the five. He's a strong guy. He can hit a shot. You saw the value in Austin Rivers, a guard that when you play small ball can shoot the three.
Yep.
You saw the value in Clint Capella during a regular season, just Lob City, him getting his points and rebounds and things of that nature. You see the value in the guys that you have. You have a good team. You have a good roster. 1 game away last year, 2 games away this year. It's not like you need a complete overhaul. You just need to have a conversation with your star player and ask him to buy into playing basketball on both ends of the court.
Pretty much.
In the fullest extent of, if you want to be one of the greatest players in the NBA, the greatest players play both
ways. Yep.
And they play in the system.
They play team ball in the system. Yep.
And you got to recognize that you have a pretty good point guard that can, that you can have some trust over to.
He's kind of good. Hall of Famer. All right.
That you can,
how about that?
That you can hand over some trust to run this offense.
And he's the reason why y'all didn't make it past that 1 game last year.
But your ego lets you see that.
Boy. That's the word right there.
It'll be surprising to see, if any move happens. I don't think they can get better in any way. If you trade Chris Paul to a young upstart team that's looking to get over the hump, that's trying to find a veteran point guard, what are you going to get back from that? Pick? Right. What are you going to get back from that? Expiring contract.
Yep.
What are you going to get back? I mean,
nothing worth him.
Nothing. So this is the year. If you were going to clear cap to get a free agent, this was the year to do it. You don't want to clear cap for next year because you don't even know who's up next year. So
right.
it was weird for that to come out, and I feel like that was a misstep on the Rockets on the court.
Yep, I agree.
All right,
ain't nothing they can do with that one.
Let's get to the game. Yeah, baby. It's so happy. I'm so happy that we are in the finals, but I'm so sad. so sad. Because after this, there's Nathan. There's nothing for us to watch. There's nothing for us to enjoy. So let's hope for a nice 7-game series, right?
Right. Right. Yes. Yeah, right. That's all. That's all we have. I like baseball, but we ain't watching it. Nor are we gonna talk about it all summer.
I'm not watching baseball.
Please. Right. No.
Please what?
I was gonna say please long.
No, I'm not watching baseball.
No, long series. But
oh yeah, okay. So we have the Toronto Raptors versus the Golden State Warriors. Just on the outside before we dive into anything, how good is this matchup to you? We got to this point. We knew one team was going to be here.
Yep.
We all, started the season. We knew Golden State was going to be here. Yep. Are you surprised it's the Raptors right now and not Philadelphia and not the Bucks and not Boston and not? Is this the sexy thing that the NBA wanted? You got a whole country versus Golden State Warriors. Does this matchup help the NBA? Because we've seen some matchups in the past that people didn't want to see. Right. People that didn't watch, lackluster stars, things of that nature. This isn't Curry versus LeBron 4. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Is this what you wanted to see? Are you anticipating big numbers for these finals?
I think the NBA is gonna be happy because they're big on the world view and spreading their influence throughout the world. So to have kind of a whole country and then you got your crown jewel, I think for the NBA this is a moneymaker. I think you pretty much have a whole country plus another country definitely watching this game. and then plus all whatever of your other countries that are supporting different players that are in the finals, their home countries, their native lands. So I think the NBA is going to capitalize on this like they always do.
Okay.
Now, from a pick perspective, as far as just who do we think was going to be here, I guess if I'm being honest, I would have to say I thought this was going to be Celtics Warriors.
Okay.
I mean, if you go back to the beginning of the year, I thought sooner or later Celtics would get it together, and then we would kind of go from there. Obviously, we see that didn't happen. And when you looked at the Bucks Raptors series, to me, the Bucks had the better team, and the Raptors had Kawhi, and the Raptors hadn't shown you anything from the others to believe in them. But then again, the Bucks hadn't either. So a lot of people still thought the Bucks were the better team because Giannis just looked unstoppable. Kawhi looked like he was, standing on one leg. But Siakam and I guess playoff Lowry, he showed up a little bit. So he's definitely had some people step up. So is the best team here? I would say so. The best team from the East is here. Obviously, they won it. But you just didn't know. We knew we had 4 teams coming into this. And with those 4 teams, we knew any of those teams could be here. We all put our picks out there and thought who it might be. And here we are. It's the Raptors. So, sexy? No, I don't think so. I think the sexy pick would have been Celtics and Warriors. I think that's what would have been the ultimate for a lot of people. But I think the NBA is going to definitely capitalize. And when you listen to a lot of the pundits, they think there's going to be a competitive series because Kawhi has definitely changed everybody's outlook on the Raptors. And he's made a believer out of a lot of people, especially with the Warriors not having KD.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like Canada. Canada basketball is in the NBA finals. And I don't know how I feel about that. It's really, I miss LeBron. Like, if you really want to be honest about this question, I miss LeBron. I miss LeBron being in the finals. I miss people hating him for no reason.
Okay.
I miss the matchup versus Golden State. I miss the battles of can LeBron get over the mountain. I just miss it. Like the storylines going into this is just all happy. It's like, yay, Raptors, you made it. Like, whole country wrapped her up. I don't know what they say. Jurassic Park, let's Drake. We just love the Raptors. Good job, Raptors. And it's like, come on, Golden State. Who's the best player? Yay, Klay Thompson. Can Kevin Durant come back? And I think it's just, I want LeBron in the finals. I just need it. He just adds another element of excitement to it to see the best player in the league. Let's not get it twisted. I went into this last week. Yeah. If you have to go game by game to figure out who the best player in the league is, that means he ain't relinquished the throne yet.
Right.
He's the best player in the game. Just because you don't see him, don't mean he ain't.
Right.
And I want to see him. I want to see LeBron James in the finals. I miss LeBron.
Sorry, man.
And I don't know. The Raptors, Kawhi, what is it? Kawhi, his quietness, his reservedness, not wanting to be in the
prototypical star.
It's just real lackluster on that end. And then it's just, for me, like you said, other people are picking different things.
Yep.
For me, I already know what's going to happen. So this is not, with LeBron there's always a chance, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna give LeBron a
game.
I'm gonna
get a game.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a game. I'm gonna give him this. I'm gonna give him that because LeBron's on the floor. Ain't no giving on this one to me. It's just from without diving into it, just from a broad spectrum, just looking at it, Raptors versus Golden State, it doesn't do nothing for me.
Okay. It's fair. That's 100% fair. I can't believe me. We're not debating. There's not much debate happening on this show tonight when it comes to our opinions about the finals. Unfortunately, when usually we have some nice, we clash a little bit because of LeBron's presence in the finals. But you're right. It's not the who make you feel some kind of way finals with LeBron not being there, nor is it that way with the Raptors. I think if the Celtics were there, you might have something because If they were there, you're probably talking about their defense. You're probably talking about Kyrie being a champ already. All that, him being the new face and all that. So you have those debates. We got none of that.
Got none of that.
Yep.
And like you even forget like Kawhi's Finals MVP. Like you forget.
Is he now?
You forget that he's a champion.
Oh yeah, they did beat the Heat, didn't they?
You forget these things. Like
they beat
people don't even bring this stuff up no more. Like it's just forgettable. Like he's just a damn good basketball player. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, he is.
He's a very elite basketball player. But for the NBA Finals, I miss LeBron. You can call me a stand for all you want to. I miss you, LeBron James. So he's too busy having Taco Tuesday.
Oh, God. That was interesting.
Why is that on SportsCenter? Why is Taco Tuesday on SportsCenter? Because he's the best player. Even when he's not playing, he's on SportsCenter having Taco Tuesday.
Shout out to his son, Bronny, who joined Instagram and already in 24 hours has over 1 million followers.
That was my guess.
I'm one of them. I was like, no, at first.
Finally let him have
I was like, yeah, Pops let him have his IG. He's got over 1 million followers.
How do you feel? See, now we're in LeBron mode.
Not right. Okay.
How do you feel about Zaire and Bronny getting together in LA, making their own super team? You don't know? You know you're gonna be watching the highlights on YouTube because I will.
I mean, yeah, I'll go and look and check it out, but I mean, it's still high school. It's still high school. It's still systemy. It's still, it's even though watching some of these kids at that level is amazing. I mean, you got to admit the Zion YouTube videos were off the chain.
Right.
It still doesn't have that same impact to me when they build super teams in the NBA, which is not going to. I mean, they're high schoolers, but I'll go check it out definitely. I'm not going to shade it like that. I'm definitely going to look at it. I saw it in the news today, and I saw it on Twitter and on Instagram. I didn't like go, whoa, yeah. I didn't jump for joy. Yeah,
I wonder if they're like forcing their relationship. Like they really don't like each other. Just because our dads like each other don't mean we like each other.
Probably not. These kids like each other more now than before.
I don't know.
I think every generation is like more love. That's not.
It looks like you don't want to like nobody.
Every generation loves each other.
All right, NBA Finals. We'll ask 2 questions and then give our predictions. What do the Raptors have to do to win this series? Come on, analytical persons on the radio.
Because we have to answer this question.
Because you have to answer this question. Yeah.
What do the Raptors have to do to win? So Kawhi's got to, and I'm sorry, this isn't rocket science, but Kawhi's got to be Kawhi. Let's start there.
He's averaged 30 points and
he's got to do all of that. Kawhi has to wear a cape in this series. This is, and I hate this is probably overreaching, but this is a LeBron-esque style series of it's Kawhi and his guys versus this super team minus KD. Mm-hmm. It is. It's still, if you remember back to the LeBron days, it was what can LeBron do with his boys against a team that everybody's expecting to win. Exactly. So this is still that. This is Kawhi and the others. Lowry has to stay present. Mm-hmm. Siakam has to be relevant again.
Both sides of the
ball. Van Fleet's got to still play well. The other guy, Powell's got to play well. The Gasol factor in this series is huge to me because the blueprint for me of beating this team is you have to switch everything. Mm-hmm. That means your big has to guard smalls. Mm-hmm. And on any pick and roll, any hedging of picks, anything, you have to come out high with a hand up because they will shoot if you are slow getting to the top of the switch. Okay. That's the scheme to me. You got to do it. You got to be prepared for it. And you have to do that for 48 minutes. It's got to be a constant. And slow the game down, Toronto. Don't get into a shooting match because if you miss 3 or 4 buckets because you took bad shots, that's a run out. Bang, bang, bang. That's 3. Yeah. 3 3-pointers, and you got yourself, they're showing the introductions this year. How about that? I like that and enjoy that part of the game. So I'm just going to press record real quick. Confirm. All right. So to me, you have to do that. You have to guard the 3-point line. If they're going to beat you, they got to beat you inside. But hey, sorry. The way to beat this team is you got to win in the 90s. You have to win in the 90s because I'm going to be honest with you. If you play these guys and you think you're going to win in the 105 or higher, it ain't happening.
No.
So that's how I see it. It's Cleveland 2016. Think about Game 7. Cavs won that game 92-87. Every game that they won in that series after they start coming back from the 3-1 deficit was walk the ball up, move the ball around a little bit. If you get an open shot and it's a good one, take it. If not, the ball ended up in your scorer's hands every single time, and you let him figure out what to do with it once he drove. That's got to be Kawhi in this series. That's the only way you win this game. That's it. If they nullify the big, that means he goes to the bench. That means you got to play smaller, and you are playing right into their hands because their best lineup features Draymond at the 5, as we all know, and he'll run the point from there. And it features Iguodala, who's going to guard Kawhi, and then it features the Splash Brothers. And word on the street is Boogie's back too.
Boogie's back.
So
still focusing on the Raptors.
Yep.
I made you answer the question, so I'm gonna answer the question.
Absolutely, it's better.
In my mind, I was thinking the same thing. Nothing.
Before you do, Issachar Watson, welcome. Says defense on the Splash Brothers, but they're going for 30 and 35 tonight. So sorry, Toronto.
Still LeBronto in their minds.
Right.
What does Toronto have to do to win these games? He just got to play out of their minds for 4 games. Like, role players have to be extraordinary. The reason why people are picking the Raptors are defensively, right? You saw what Kawhi did to the Greek Freak when he locked down. Not a lot of guys can play both ways and be effective on both ends, right? Yep. Not a lot of guys can guard the other person's best player and still put up 30, 35 points on offense.
Right.
It's just too tiring. It's too taxing, depending on, especially going against a guy like Giannis, who's just so physical and beating you down the whole series. Right. So they definitely need help. So the whole Marc Gasol thing, I think he gets pushed out early. I think you see it's going to be a lot of Ibaka at the 5. Unfortunately, that leaves Golden State with the whole thing of you play Boogie at the 5. You can't play Boogie against Serge. You only can play him against Marc Gasol because the pace of the game. Can Boogie keep up? That's the whole thing. So with him not on the floor, that nullifies that whole comeback and having him be effective. Because the last thing you want is somebody who ain't played to give them a spark to try to beat you, right? So keep that nullified. Your 2 main goals right now is, like you said, switch everything and keep a hand in Curry and Klay Thompson's face. Those are 2 snipers. Those are the guys you got to watch, and how you defend them all dictates how this series goes. Look at Portland. Portland was letting Curry come out free off all these picks, and he had wide open shots. They weren't going over picks. They weren't going under picks. They were just letting him come through, and he killed them. He burnt them on that. So you got to defend these picks to all these moving screens that they do that don't get called. And then you got to keep letting Kawhi do his thing. You got to keep him. He's got to have 20 shots. He's got to go for 40 every game. It's going to be close. But you got to trust your defense and keep that same rotation. Don't change anything. Don't do anything different if you're them. The only thing is just, see how that Marc Gasol effect is. If not, everybody should be willing and ready to play 40 minutes if you're a Toronto Raptor.
Yep.
All right, so other than just show up, what does Golden State have to
do? Memo, note to self. Golden State, hey, be who you think we think you are. Listen, this is they have to play the way they've been playing. You said the one reason that the Raptors are being given a chance is because of their defense. I think when you're defending a team that has one player, a star like that, and you're not defending a team, you can do what they did to Milwaukee. You're defending a team where even if you think you're somewhat locking up Steph, you're not locking up Klay. You're not locking up Draymond. You're not locking up Iguodala. You're not. And we're saying these names because this is the Warriors of 2019 that look very similar to the Warriors that have won championships already. They just have different role players.
Mhm.
And so Iguodala's he's gonna hit a three. Quinn Cook's gonna hit a three. Jerebko's gonna hit one. I mean, these guys with KD down all understand their role and they all stepped into it, and they're all playing with a level of confidence because of who they have rocking with them.
Mhm.
You got the Splash Brothers and Draymond. You got all the confidence in the world coming off that bench.
Yep.
So to me, they just got to be themselves. They got to be the team that people wondered if they could be when the KD went down. And that's the other factor that people are giving the Raptors a chance for, because they're saying, I've seen a lot of predictions today from big names in the sports media. No KD, Raptors in 7. KD, Warriors in 6.
Mm.
I think that's utter disrespect to the Warriors.
Utter.
Have you been watching them?
Utter disrespect.
Have you been watching them without KD? How dare you? So,
And these are the
Warriors,
same people.
be who you are.
These are the same people who picked Milwaukee and said Milwaukee was going to beat them. But if the Raptors made it, they weren't picking them.
Right.
But now you're going to pick them.
Right.
Because you saw what they did to the Bucks.
Right.
It's so wishy-washy.
Yep.
What do the Golden State have to do other than show up? Can I answer this one?
Go ahead.
But
Be yourself.
just show up.
Just be here.
Just lace them up and play ball.
Almost 9, Warriors. It's almost 9. Get started anytime soon.
Here's the thing. We talked about it back then for the Portland series. And I asked you, like, you're not just beaten into submission by now. I have been beaten into submission about the Golden State Warriors. It's inevitable. It's just who they are. They're going to win. And they're going to beat you. And they're going to embarrass you.
I haven't been
I don't
beaten
care.
into submission.
I've been beaten into
I-
submission, sir.
I have to a point, but if there was a team
It just is what
that I
it is.
believe could be competitive, like I picked the Cavs in 16. Like now the one year I've lost my mind was
KD's
2017.
Yeah.
Yes. So I picked the Cavs. That was, and then yeah. So and then last year I got myself together. I was like, no, guys, come on. I'm a Cleveland fan. This ain't right. Okay. But if there was a team, then I think our show has been that way, where we've been realist and we've really looked at it and said, let's make a real analytical decision.
This is the real analytical.
No, I'm just saying. So I think if there was a team that was competitive,
Yeah.
that we really thought had a chance, we would say so. We might still pick the Warriors, but we would say so, because when you hear our predictions, you really understand that we are beaten into submission and have a different understanding of this whole thing.
Yes.
But I've been beaten to a point where if I had to versus if I wasn't going to, I go with what I had to do based on my injuries from being beaten. So yeah, I get what you're saying. But if I really believed in a level of competition, without giving my prediction away, in a level of competition for this series, I would state my case right now.
Mm-hmm. Silence. No case stated.
Yeah.
Listen,
I got nothing, people.
show up, lace them up, play ball.
It's about that time.
That's pretty much it. Steve Kerr's a hell of a coach. And not only are they a talented team, they play basketball very well.
They do.
And I think
How about that?
I think that's what gets lost in a lot of things, is because I think Mark Jackson, his imprint of just playing defense, is still on this team. Like they covet the defense. But when Steve Kerr took over, they play effective basketball. Their sets, like in a which is really crazy if you really think about it. In a league where not a lot of offensive sets are called, they call a lot of offensive sets, which are just second nature. Steve Kerr's not up there,
No, they're
calling
not.
nothing.
Man, he's sitting on the bench.
He's sitting on the bench and letting them go through the motions, and they know what to do. They know what back screen they're going to play. They know which cut they're going to do. They know which dive is going to happen. They know if Draymond has the ball and if he don't hand it off to Clay, Steph coming off a curl, there's a double pick down. Like, they just know how to play basketball.
Yep.
And that on top of everything else should be demoralizing. On fact of you're playing the two best shooters ever in a backcourt should be demoralizing. On top of their point center is now the handcuffs are unleashed because he doesn't have to play with Kevin Durant. You can see the full scope of his game should be demoralizing. It's just, and the role players who you thought they were dead just came resurrected to life.
That's right.
That should be demoralizing. And you're a fool. You're a fool to think that anything other than what you know is going to happen from the beginning of this year, and you don't pick them. That's crazy. That's losing money to me.
Yeah, I mean, to make matters worse, if you're down 20 in the third quarter,
It don't matter.
you know what's going to happen.
It don't matter.
So don't get excited if the Raptors jump out too early.
Yeah, we the North. We up 15 in the first.
Doesn't
We
matter.
up 25 in the second. It means nothing.
We will,
Nothing.
in 2 weeks, well, probably not, in about a week, as we wrap up the NBA
How long
season.
does 4 games take?
Yeah, about a week. About a week, a couple days, about 7 days. We will come back on this show and beat our chests.
Mm.
If this goes any different than the way we think it's going to go, we will be eating a double crow sandwich, pie.
I rather
Eat a whole cobbler.
I'd rather do it with you, buddy.
Right. This is ridiculous.
And the last point, I think the Raptors having home court advantage is the worst thing that could ever happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they gonna get popped the first game
Yep.
and try to, and then go in the whole media storm the 2 games and go, well, we just gotta get this split. You know, gotta get one at home. They're gonna pop the second game, and then think they're gonna try to get 2 in Oracle.
Oh man,
And it's just not gonna happen. I think, we always give people that game 3 momentum.
We
right?
always give people
Gotta give them that
momentum.
game 3 back at home.
Yeah.
They done had 9-10 days to rest.
We always give it to them.
They done been in Toronto for the last 3-4 days.
Doing media requests.
Just,
Sitting around talking about Klay Thompson's dog
and
and
it's, and
how I
it's,
can't travel over the border.
they just, and they thrive in shutting people up. Like, they the biggest villains that people like for some reason.
I think the execs at ESPN told half their staff that y'all got to pick them up.
Yeah, just to make people
watch.
Hey, look, this is the NBA.
Hey, we got to make
messed up
this
this
thing.
year. We got to make it somewhat competitive.
Something's didn't do what we wanted them to do. The biggest story is Drake talking to the commissioner. Nope. Sorry, guys.
So, games and MVP. Winner, games, MVP.
Winners, games, MVP.
Yeah.
In that order?
Yeah.
All right. The winner of this series and the NBA champion for the 2018-2019 season is the Golden State Warriors. And I meant to bring one with me. I don't have one in here. I didn't bring my broom with me.
Oh, wait.
But the reason I didn't bring my broom is because Raptors get 1 game. Warriors in 5. Warriors in 5. That's my prediction. And finally, I believe Steph Curry's going to win the MVP.
Finally.
Yeah, I think he's going to finally win a Finals MVP because I don't think he's going to slack. I think the many years of him not playing well in the finals and they kind of have those lulls in the playoffs, when KD went down, he's not that guy anymore. He ain't been that guy.
Talk about handcuffs off.
Yeah, boy, he's not that guy anymore. It was almost like when KD went down, this team was like, "Bet, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we free. Like, ball movement, all that. Let's get it." And I don't think KD plays it. He's not even needed in this series. If he comes back, I think if he comes back, that might be the reason why they lose the game. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree. Dennis Steph is like, I'm the captain now, baby. Let's ride. Yeah, I'm the captain. I'm the pappy. It is. Yeah. Yeah, man. Warriors in 5. I do think Toronto's gonna get 1 home game.
Okay.
Just because I think that it's a tough place. I think the Warriors are. I think they're right for 1. I think there's 1 close game where, and it's funny because we do this every series. I think Kawhi does get him a game.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I think he does. I think his players play with them and they play with a lot of heart. They might get tonight. I think they get 1. It would be perfect for the NBA if they get it tonight because then everybody's like, "Oh man, they can really win." Yeah, but then after that, it's a wrap.
Best case scenario for the
That's
NBA.
the best case scenario. If the Warriors get one tonight, I think the Raptors get game 2, and then the Warriors finish 3-4 and come back and win game 5. So that's how I think this series goes. I think if Toronto's going to get one, it's going to be one of the first 2, and then the Warriors go on to. I think sometimes the Warriors like to give hope, and then they finish it. Ooh, Dennis. Ooh.
Toronto gets 2. Dennis says.
Oh, Dennis. Toronto gets 2.
All right, winner. Golden State. I'm not giving you that.
No drum roll.
No drum roll for that. Games 4. It's over. Sweep. Done. Nada. Whatever. Get out of here, Toronto. I don't want to be okay.
They gotta make money. The NBA has its ways. The NBA has its ways. The NBA has its ways. I know how much you hate that phrase. The NBA does have its ways. The NBA does. That's a true statement. Toronto in 4.
Listen,
Golden State in 4.
Golden State in 4. If Toronto gets a game or even 2, I still don't look bad because Golden State's gonna win this.
Gentlemen sweep. 5,
it doesn't.
I hear you.
It doesn't matter. Like I'm beaten. I'm beaten. I'm beaten down.
You have no belief in anybody else.
No.
Until
if
free
it's
agency,
LeBron, I will give LeBron games. And then depending on his squad, how many games I give.
Depending on his others.
But anybody else against this squad, they're the greatest. I mean, that's a different topic for a different day, especially if they win this. It's the greatest assemblement of talent, the greatest stretch, the greatest run.
This will be 3 out of 4.
It'll be what 4 and 5 though. This will be 4 out of 5. They've been to the finals 5 straight years.
Oh, they won 15 and no, they won 15.
They got
won
3
15.
already.
They lost 16.
And then they
won
won the last
17
2.
and 18. Yeah.
This will be 4 out of 5. And 2 without KD.
Sorry.
I mean, and you beat LeBron, and Kawhi.
Yep.
And it's just this is what we would have saw if the Lakers would stay together.
Yep.
You just got to bow your cap down to it. At the beginning of this, I was mad. They're cheating. This is ridiculous.
This is the monster. This isn't fair.
It's not fair. Then it's just like, yes, just take the championship.
Right.
It's just, it is what it is. Golden State in 4, MVP, Draymond Green.
Okay.
Because he's going to average a triple-double.
Yeah, I think I said that.
He's going to average a triple-double, and hopefully it's a high enough triple-double to take it away from Steph. Because I do still want that. I want that conversation about Steph when his career is done. About he got all these rings, but the finals MVPs are lacking. I think that'll be a nice wrinkle in his,
So you just want the wrinkle.
Yeah, I want the wrinkle.
Okay.
But I think Draymond averages a high triple-double. If KD stays away from this series, if KD comes back, then I'll change my tune and pick Steph. But Golden State in 4 and Draymond MVP.
There it is. There you have it. You heard from here. It is, as Dennis says, it's game time. So game just started, and already the ball is moving just like it loves to move with Golden State. But Clay misses his first shot. But it is game time. Yeah, I got him in 5. You got him in 4. But Golden State's winning this series. And
You sound so happy about it.
in about a week, well, because we knew this was going to happen. So in about a week, we'll be back on live talking about it. I'm about to get on the road tomorrow and go across country and miss a game because I'll be in a car. No, I can watch it, I guess, and stream it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think we're both on the same
We
page.
all know what's going to happen.
Yep.
I think we left last time, and it was, or last time Golden State was playing, like, Portland's up by 40. There's no way they're going to lose this game.
The rest of that game.
Woke up the next morning.
You text me. I told you. I was confident. They were up at halftime and in the
Woke
third
up the
quarter.
next morning.
Yep.
Golden State wins in overtime. That's it. No lead is safe with these guys. Shout out to our sponsor, Mike Vaughn's Plumbing, both licensed and insured. Vaughn's Plumbing provides top quality services at great prices, whether it's just getting up to cold, waterproofing, or just daily home services. Call the man.
313-304-7786.
VaughnsPlumbing.com also gives you the map of all the areas they services, as well as the quotes of services that they provide. But we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
Tell them the guys at Academy Sports Show sent you. They say, oh, those guys over there, they're always right. And plus, I'm the real MVP. Get that wrong, but I don't care.
That was good. Also, don't forget, if you're looking to buy, sell, rent, lease, or invest in real estate, or maybe just looking for a career change, call my man Nick Bowers and his team at Keller Williams Lakeside. Let the home team help you with your real estate needs. You can go to their website at www.thehometeamusa.com or on Facebook at The Home Team. The Home Team, a team you can depend on. Call my man Nick Bowers at 586-634-9419. That's Nick Bowers at 586-634-9419. KW Lakeside, the home team. Dennis, thank you for the safe travels wish. I will definitely take heed to that. It's a long drive from here to Monterey, California. That is where we are headed. Big shout out to everybody in our live feed. Thank you for joining us tonight in YouTube. Thank you for joining us tonight in our live YouTube feed. Also joining us on Facebook. Also joining us in our IG live feeds as we went a couple of different directions tonight. Just kind of let you guys know we're out there. Don't forget you can find us on YouTube. Hit the bell. That way you can subscribe. Know when we go live. We're here every Thursday through the summer, and then when we get into football season in the fall, because we are both youth coaches, we will be here at some time throughout the week, and we will let you know what that is. Because you can follow us on IG at Academy Sports Show, on Facebook at Academy Sports Show, on Twitter at Academy Sports Show, whatever the social media platform, you can get us. Also, check us out on SoundCloud and on iTunes. You can follow us either way, Apple or Android. We will post this show. So if you listen to us at this moment on one of our podcasts, you listen to us on our podcast. Hey. So we're always here, though, every Thursday night. You can look for a show to be posted soon after that. But we always, as always, appreciate you joining us on this evening. We want you to enjoy the finals on this evening. Quick update, Golden State 7-6. First quarter, 9:26 to go.
I predict Golden State will win this game.
Hey! Wow. That was amazing. I just want you to know I'm impressed. I really am. I'm moved.
All right. Well, for just enjoyment's sake, let's hope it's 4-7 game series, but
so that's such false hope. let's just, it's gonna go the way we think it's gonna go.
And let's just hope. I mean, we can milk it afterwards for maybe a week or
How
two.
about these 4 or 5 games are competitive? And we're like, wow, what a great competitive series, but Golden State still pulled it out. I think that's the closest we get to this being worth something.
Let me ask you this. How many games do they have to win for Kawhi to stay? Or did they do enough?
I think that's a question for after the series, but I think they've done enough.
Okay.
I think they made to me, Toronto's made the best case they could possibly make
To keep
them.
Okay.
It's just, to me, it's a matter of what you want to do.
All right. This has been an episode of Academy Sports Show. We appreciate you listening. As always, I'm your host, Andrew Douglas, your host, Joe Williams.
See you next week.
Adios, muchachos.